Yeah, I think it's starting. It's live. Good. The people are joining. Hi everyone. Good evening. How are you guys? How's things going on here? I hope all is good, all is well. Good. Happy day, happy breathing. Happy yoga practices. I hope this is not your first class today. And yeah, this is Niru, myself. And what we're gonna do today is something that is going to work on your body, the specific part which balance your upper and the lower part of the body, something like a weighing machine. If you look at the weighing machine on the two sides, the middle part, a strong one, is that always weighs the machine. So something like that, your major part, that's your hip. So what I'm going to do is today something that the flow, and also that we'll be focusing more stretches and openings that works around the area of the hip. So when I say around the area of the hip, it's just not right in front. So you'll be working with the 360 angle of your hip. So not just the waist and not just the flexors and not just the adductor. You put everything together and then you just observe that the feeling that you get after the practice, the stretches that you give. So basically the idea to increase the space, the gap on your tissues and then your fascias and the muscles and then the ligaments and the joints, to give a free flow. So when you do a certain type of asanas, practices of postures, that you will find that more convenient, a more comfortable feeling. So that's what we say is that asanas. Asanas, we all know that it's about the stiram, sugam, asanam. So which means stiram is more of a steadiness, and then sugam means a comfortable. So without this stiram, the steadiness, and then sugam, comfortable, whatever we do, we don't consider that as an asana. That is just a normal movement. It can be an exercise. So you might need a block, right? So 2 blocks I have there. Let's say if I don't have a block, what you can do is at home, and if you have the tissue roller, right, you can use that for your convenient places. So you can just press with your hands or relax. That is just more than enough, because more or less the same size. So the block is enough. 1 block or 2 blocks, that's just enough, and have some water and then a towel for you to wipe your face, and try not to move away. So once you started the practice, so just keep going on it, because once we started the practice, and then we'll be working on your hair by step and layer by layer, and then you will go and attend a certain asanas later, the targeting about a 1 or 2 postures that really needs the opening of your hips and then flexors, right? So that need a more of warming up practice for that. And remember, if you have any conditions with your knees and then the hips, just take it a little bit of slow movement, right? And don't force with your knees and the hips, especially on the kneecaps. You're gonna move the knees with the rotations, and you're gonna move your hips also with the rotations, right? So we'll start now. Yeah, that's for that. So in case the people are coming like after 30 minutes, if you do not know what is happening here, so you see that the happy hips with Niru, happy hips flow with Niru. So that's the class that's going to happen there, right? So get ready, grab your mat, and prepare yourself. Just make it easy and comfortable. Don't forget that you put your mobile in silent mode, maybe a plane mode, that the calls will not disturb you, right? So I hope you guys are really enjoying these practices, since nowadays becoming online has more comfortable for everyone, right? So sit in a comfortable position, checking out the knees. So any comfortable position. So your calf muscles and your ankles are preferably the heels are under your knees, and then placing the hands on the top. Relax the shoulders to lift the sternum. Try to check more with your shoulder blades. So you need to roll the shoulders, slide it down. So you need to engage your sides, the lat muscles, and then focus more of your head. And the chin is not moving higher or lower. Just stay straight and still. Well, if that is comfortable with your spine, and then you can just move, observe on the breath, inhalation, and your abdomen comes out. So focus on the side of the chest that moves outward direction. And then as you exhale, the same thing, that you need to empty it completely to feel that freeness. And go for another 4 breaths and just observe with your inhalation, your abdomen comes out and the side of the chest. And then you go with exhale or smooth. So try to focus more on the breath and go on your own. Continue on your own pace of the breathing. So if you're able to breathe it more, try to take it. So because you're just sending out your oxygen more inside, to observing the muscles and checking more with your organs, right? So then exhale fully to emptiness. So one more breath, inhale deeply, your abdomen comes out and the side of the chest moves outward direction, so you're not rising the chest. And then exhale, smooth. For the next inhale, to rise your arms up to the ceiling. Interlace your fingers and then focus the hands, right? The palms are pushing up. And you're not hunching the shoulders at the same time, you're not arching the spine. So if you're not exactly what's happening there on the back, check the spine that you're not arching, so you're not popping out your chest or your abdomen, and you're not making curve on the spine as well. So you press the tail and then lift up higher, more from the sides, and keep pushing up higher, right? And then you can release the hands. And smooth to bring your right hand down on the side and stretch the left arm up to the ceiling, and then take a little side bend there. So move the side. Try to focus more with your side of the rib and checking with the side of the belly, and focus more your hip stays down, so you don't lift the hip over your kneecaps. So let the knee stay down, relax, let the hip stay down, relax, and keep extending your left arm more outward direction. And that's there you go to bring your arms to the ceiling again, so don't get round in the back again. Remember, stretch the arms every time before you go. To bring your hand down again, to bring your right up, there you go, exhale. So not necessary to go all the way down and try to focus, instead keeping the active pace. You're just awakening your muscles, that you're telling that your muscles observe more than your internal tissues, that you're going to do something there to waking up, to just waking up the muscles internally. It becomes more easy to work with your hips and your internal sets. And bring it up, arms. Stretch again, up, right? And then you release your hands. You can bring your left hand down on the back. So the right hand just there on your lower back. Try to lift your hips high. Check, you're pressing the left hand and your right hand is on the lower back. Push the hip higher and then you swing your arm. That your right arm goes over your head. Try to focus more on your front part of the head. Then lift your body and then you can come up here. Bring your arms to the ceiling. And again, stretch once again up to the ceiling. Then release and bring your right hand down. And the left stay up higher this time. So try to focus, it becomes more easy to understand. So you're going to swing your arm and move your hip. Try to focus at your trunk that you're turning and then bring your arm over. Try to move your hip. So increase the space there on your groin and check the side and the center line of the belly. And then you can come up. Release. Up. Higher. Release the hands. Bring your hands just down there in front. So come on to the all fours. Cat and cut. The equal gap to maintain between the hands, knees, and the toe stays curled under. And then you can arch the spine and stick the tailbone to the cut. Keep the forehead relaxed and round, and exhale, chin to the chest. There you go again. Inhale up. Around for exhale. Move. Inhale up. Around for exhale. So then inhale, stay up higher and check the hips, right? And then you kick your right leg back, just the right leg back. And then you need to bend your right leg. And stay with that. So you can just observe on the side move. You're just kicking the leg behind, and then the kneecap is just right leg is bent. And you need to open your hip. Try to check you're opening the hip nicely to bring the knee nicely outward. You can get your left toe pointing and try to focus more with the hip. And stay with that line and check the hips. So try to focus more with your right fingertip to press down on the mat. And stay, breathe for 3, 2, and 1. And then see if you can bring the right hand to the right inner kneecap to open out. Then take a little bit of an arch here on the back to open more with the shoulders. You're holding the inner kneecap. The right foot stay lighter and open up and open up and open up. And smooth here. Bring your hand down. The knee you can bring it to the nose there. You're going an opposite movement of rounding and drop it down. Smooth arch. Inhale. So kick your left leg back. Bend your left. Same way, you just need to open up. So remember when you open, the knee and the thigh and the hip that moves outward direction. So try to check more on your hips. So remember your right foot, that can be toe pointing outward direction. Stay with the fingertip. Let's say that if you're not able to bring your hand away from your mat, stay with the fingertip. Or if you're able to bring it away, then just bring your hand to the inner knee to open up. And try to check that the kneecap is trying to point up to the ceiling. You can just look at the side, or you can keep looking down for a better balance. But open up your hip. But keep opening more over the inner groin. Try to check more with your hips. That takes a little bit of arch on the spine as well. And bring your hand down, knee to the nose. Round, exhale. Smooth. Bring the knee down, arch. Inhalation. Get your toes pointing. And then you can join your big toes together. Just the big toes, not the heels. Open your heels outward. Open the knees outward direction. Move the hips back. So allow your buttocks to reach the heels. So there's a tiny gap between your feet. You move the hips all the way there between. And again, stretch your arms to the front. The elbows turns inward rotation, so you're not sinking down completely. And try to lengthen nicely up. So with your exhalation, that your body goes in front and forward. If you find that your hips are moving up, you need to walk your hands back and stay. So the more you lift the head, that you're actually increasing the pressure on the knees. So try not to lift the hips. Your hip stays down and you lengthen the spine forward. The elbows are bringing inward rotation and lengthen it. Your neck longer. Check more the crown and your drishti. Observe more your breath. That again, both inhalation, exhalation. So one breath in, exhalation. Then walk your hands back smooth. So what you're at, so try to reduce the gap between your legs. So your knees are more wider now. So you're going to lift the hips, you're going to arch the spine, which is not good for your knees, especially if your knees are up, more wider. You try to reduce the gap, the hip distance apart, right? Just the hip distance apart. You can always see that my position is keep changing to the side and front for your convenience, but observe more of what I'm saying. Try to observe in case if you don't understand, then again you look at the stream exactly. So lift the hips, come on to the kneecap, and try to focus more on the groins and your lower part, and then bring your hands in the back. You push your hips forward. You try to check. I'm not just pushing only my belly. So something like a pregnant lady, try to check more the abdomen. You try to pull your abdomen in, and then your hip bone that goes to the front. So your abdomen will take care of itself, right? And roll the shoulders. Then I can bring your body up. You try to move the hips. You keep moving the hips. You keep moving the hips. You keep moving the hips. It takes a little bit of arching, that's fine, even if you can't go for a deeper back bend, that's not for your back foot, see this, it's purely for your hip, and again for your groins and the thighs. And you can come up, inhale, exhalation, hands down, to turn the toes under your ankles, downward position. Hips up, there you go, walk your legs back, pedaling your knees, so from back for a few times. And turning the heels to your right, check the waistline, right, and the elbows and shoulders, and to the left. You don't move the body to the front, so your wrist cannot be under the shoulders, so check your arms. And you're back again to your right, and you move to the left. You're turning the heels to your right, and then you go to the left. Get the center line on your heels off to mat, and just kick the right leg up to open your hip nicely. And bring your right foot forward, outside of your right hand. So once you bring your right foot outside, try to lengthen the spine. And drop the back knee down. Keep lengthening your spine more to the front. But if you have enough space in front, you can just slowly walk your hands to the front and pressing the left thigh, the left groin, and then the left flexor, so that goes down. You can turn the right foot slightly outward direction, about a 30-degree angle, so the kneecap is well protected, and the right hip that you're pressing down as well. Your hands takes a less pressure, not too much. If this is challenging for you to bring your hands forward, you can always drop the elbows down, then lengthen to get the back knee off the mat. So the back knee can be down, If this is more easy, then if you want to try feel your hips. Now, move the heel more front and back. So try to rock the body for 4, 3, 2, and then 1. And you drop the knees down. Press the hands nicely to move back 3-legged downward. You can open your hip once again, outward rotation, and smooth and drop the foot down on the mat. Stay breathing and breathe out. So once again, heels off the mat and kick left leg to the ceiling. This time to open the hip and try and check again your shoulders and the kneecaps. And smooth to bring your left foot forward, out. And try and check again, lengthen the spine. First thing, to observe your left foot is outside. Lengthening more. Keep lengthening the spine nicely to aware more with the hips to the hands, right? And then focus more on your spine. So if I'm staying on the side, so you know that this is the left leg, not the right. And keep lengthening your back and try to check more with the back knee. Stay down. So initially touch with the knee down. So touch the mat, then you can walk your hands to the front. Don't forget to turn the foot. Check more when you're turning. You're moving the kneecap outward. You're giving a space for your hip and groin to press down to the mat, and you can walk your hands. You check that the fingers and the hands are not taking more than about 20% of your body weight. The weight stays there on the knee and then the front foot, not on the hands completely. You can just observe more the weight, how much that you shift, how much that you put in the front part of the body. You can choose again the option of dropping elbows to stay and then bring back foot. Knee off the mat. Then you rock front and back without putting pressure on the left kneecap. And 4, 3, 2, and 1. Then smooth and bring your hands just down there in front and elbows straight. Turn the foot, get the back one up and kick back higher. Left, open, out. And then you can bring your left foot front outside of your left hand, and then your right foot outside of your right. That's again, we call it as Malasana, right? Turning your foot out. So check. So when you're doing the Malasana, first time now here, right? So first time in the scene, that first time here in the class today. So your legs are there within your mat. So your legs, your foot is exactly there on your mat. Bring your hands just there in the inner thighs. Use your hips to open. Remember, right? So if you feel anything on your hips, just check. There is a board right in front. It says a happy hips flow. So that's how it's supposed to be, right? So you're working on the hips. So check more on your hips. You try to open your hips nicely, and then you can lengthen the spine. Try to bring your chest forward and bring your hands to the center. Your palms can be together. We move the hips more to the front, so your weight is shifting equally, right? And then stay. Then you can just observe to just slowly do rotating your body. This is circle weight. Then you go for opposite circle. Then you can just move a front and back. So focus, everything happens with your hips. So once your muscles start to understand that you're doing something for the hips, it gives the proper way, the channels for the body to observe, to understand, to move it on home. So this next one, bring your hands down, take it smooth here. Don't take it fast, don't go more rush. Just move smooth. You turn your right foot complete outward direction, right? And you walk, drop the foot down. Then you can turn the foot slightly in. Same Malasana. Move your hips to the right, turn the left foot, up, and up to the center. It's just basically that the same Malasana to try to check that the hips, it goes further down, and try to check the spine. Stay with the fingertips. Just stay with the fingertips. So let's say if you're not able to put the fingers down on the mat, if you have a block, just place a block in front and lengthen. Let's say that if you're able to bring your hands completely off, then you bring your elbows in to the thigh and then the palms to the center. Then you can move the same way to the side to side. Checking out here. Make sure that this time that your legs are more apart. It's basically the heels are down on the floor, not on the mat. Make sure that you guys are following me right? And not just keep looking at the stream. Check, right? Keep moving, keep moving. So you should feel again that something is happening with your inner groins, the rectus and then femoris. Checking more with your thigh muscles and focus more on your groins and the flexors. That's enough, right? You can bring your hands down on the mat, smooth, straight and relax. Turning your toes to the front, then you can reduce the gap between the legs. It's about hip distance apart. And then the knees are straight line, so fully straight. Unless if you have a back issue, take a little bending and you come around the spine. So the spine basically stay lighter. Hands to hold your opposite elbows. Then you can sway your body. Simple and complete smooth. There is an option here to taking your knees in a soft way, or you can keep the knees are straight line. It's purely your option. But when you're taking option, remember the option is actually for those who are not able to. If you have conditions of the back or knee issues, so always go for your permanent pain. So if you have a permanent pain, something like that. So if you have just for a temporary one, don't bend it. Just keep the knee straight on. And release the hands. Round the back. You can come up. Stand up. Stand up. Stand up. And just stand high. Once you're out there, bring your legs close together. So the knees are straight line. Check the hips that you're tucking the pelvic bone front. Lengthen the spine. Lift the chest. Hands to the waist. Step your right foot just about 1 feet. You're not stepping your foot all the way back. Try and focus. Just about 1 foot. Make sure that your left leg position is not moving or changing anywhere. And then your hips. Turn the hips to the front. Stay. Tuck the pelvic bone forward. The front part, the flexor and the groin again. And try to focus more with the glute muscles to stay. Just for about a 3, 2, and then a 1. Bring your feet together. And repeat the same thing to your other leg. That's your left. Step the left foot back. Just focus that when you're stepping foot back, you're not moving the body weight to the back foot. Your weight still stays there on your standing leg, not the sending one on the back. So press the foot. You need to observe again the side of the hip and the belly. You're turning the foot, turning your hip to the front, and then tuck the pelvic. Pull your abdomen, chest up. Stay with that. So your left leg stays just lighter, but just checking out the hips, the groins again, and your legs are together. You can bring your palms to the center of your heart. Stay for a breath in and out. The next breath in, arms to the ceiling. Just a stretch. You go down, exhale all the way. So placing your hands just right next to your feet. The fingers in line with your toes. Not moving your hands to the front or back. Just stay on the side. A little bending on the knees there. You can move your right foot back all the way. You just step your right foot all the way back. Drop the right knee down. So pressing your right hip. Check the groin. And come up. Inhale. Roll the shoulders. Remember, you're not arching. You're rolling the shoulder and slide the shoulders down. So check the fingers. The fingertips are moving down towards the mat. The back toe stay curled under, and then check the front foot stays a 90-degree angle. The fingers are reaching down to the mat. If you're not able to reach down the mat, then you can use the block. See that your hands are touching the block. You're not pressing it in the medium height or the low height. If you're finding that is more easy, then you remove. Even if your fingers are not touching the mat, that's just fine. You work with again your groin, but focus the hip doesn't move back, and simultaneously check the left leg 90-degree angle. You can bring your hands down on the mat, straighten your front leg. Just check your front leg is just straight. This time the left leg. Flex the foot, lengthen, and keep lengthening, and keep lengthening, and keep lengthening. Fine. Good. Bending your left leg, bring your left hand inside. Check. You bend your left and bending your left leg, left hand just stay inside. Lengthen your spine once again. Turn your left foot outward direction and press the right hip more lower, maximum lower, the maximum lower and maximum lower. Then press the right hand and swing your left arm to the ceiling. Stretch and send your left arm to the back. Bend your back leg, which is the right leg. You just try to bend it. Even if you're not able to pick up the foot, fine. Just put the hand around the back and try to bend, bend, bringing your heel more in closer. And if you're able to pick up, you go ahead, pull and pull and pull in. That's just fine. To feel something there on your quads, try to check more with your right hip. Try to focus more on the left buttock. That's right. So just stay with that same position. Release the back leg and bring your left hand down on the mat. But the position stays the same. You need to slowly stay on your fingertips. So lengthen the spine more like a snake and smooth. Walk your hands to your right side. You're walking the hands to the right side. Checking up more. You're walking the hands more on your right side. So focus the front view. You're walking just there on the right side. Keep turning the body nice and outward direction. And there you go. Bringing your left elbow down first. Well, even if you don't drop your right elbow, that's fine. Try to bring your left elbow down and check if you can drop the left one. And you go for your right one also. So the position of the hip pressing down. And try to feel that the back knee stay more lighter, and then your left kneecap stay move more outward direction. Press your hip further down, pressing your hip further down. One more pressure on your head further down. There you can go. Straighten your arms, walk your hands in front. Then you can turn your left foot in, move your leg back, downward position. So your hips stays up higher in a downward dog position. And smooth. Bring your spine to the plank. Knees down. Move the hips back. That's a little rest that you need to give for your hips. For a massage for your abdominal muscles, moving your hips, the right and left. Then look forward. Bring the chest between. Arch. Downward position. Focus with the hips. Lifting our hips higher. And then heels off the mat. Your right leg just simply front. Between the hands. Drop the back knee down. Then pressing the left thigh and the groin. Come on. Upright position again. Your right hip. The back of the right thigh pressing down. Right leg 90-degree angle. Check your left outer hip. You're turning to the front and press. You don't move the hips back, that creates unnecessary pressure on the kneecap. So check more on that. And then you can press the hip down, pull your abdomen. Hands, again, stays on the sides. Roll the shoulders, slide it down, and keep pressing your hips down. You're not arching the back. So that needs more of the backwards, it is bending. So you don't need to arch, you don't need to stress up your spine. Work on the hips and work on the glutes. So press down your hands, press down your hips. So see that the fingers are reaching down. So when I say fingers are reaching down, that doesn't mean that you are slanting the body to the side to reach one hand and reach the other hand. No, not really. Roll and then bring the shoulders and the hands equally down. That's fine even if your fingers are not touching. So from there with the breath in, exhalation, hands down. Straighten your front leg. So you're straightening the right leg. Check again. That's your half split. Lengthen the spine. Keep going to the front. Try to lengthen the spine and flex the foot. The back knee stay under your hip. Exhale. Bend your leg. Bring your hand inside. Try to focus more with your hips. Checking more with your knees and the thighs. You just need to turn the foot slightly out. Lengthen more of your back muscles. Try to move the chest to the front and lengthen it. And try to focus more, the weight also stays just equal on the hands, but the hand stays more light. Both hands, you're not putting one hand just pressing like these and then keeping the other hand rest. So keep the both hands equally pressed. So the spine goes up high, checking more with the back muscles there. So once you lengthened it, try to focus more on your back again. Then smooth, drop your left elbow down, bring your right arm to the ceiling. Check more on the side view here. So your left elbow down and the right arm up. So if that is more challenging, you can keep the left elbow straight and center your right arm back, bend your back leg, pick up. As I told you before, even if you're not able to pick up, let's say that if you want to pick up completely, use a towel, grasp it, pull. But the pull must go with your limitation, which means you're not creating any pressure, unnecessary pressure there. Pull your heel close to the glute if you can go further. That's right, that's just enough. Fine. Breathe for 3. Press the groin. 2. Press the hip. And then 1, let go, only the foot. You're not moving the hip back. I say let go, observe and wait for the second word. Let go of the leg, not the position. Then bring your fingertip down there on the mat. The spine lengthens the same. The hips pressing the same. Then you just need to walk your hands to your left side. Don't confuse on the sides. Right? You're walking the hands towards your left side. Check more with your hips. So once you walk your hands maximum on the left, see that my center of the body, the middle part of the body stay down pressing, but the trunk is turning, and bring your left elbow down. If your left elbow is not reaching down, stay with your fingers on the mat, elbows are straight. And keep turning. Keep turning. Don't forget to press the hip. Don't forget to press the groin. Don't forget to press your quadriceps. Check your kneecap should stay lighter, the left knee. Then slow, straighten your arms. Then you walk your hands to the front. This time, bring the left leg front, Malasana. So that's the second Malasana. Here you're doing it, right? So here you feel the difference of your hip position. So when you did the first time the Malasana, and then here for the second time, so check the movement, the tissues, and observe more that your muscles, and checking more with the joints of the hips are a little free to open now. So right, so now that's completely understanding that something's happening here with your hips. So it's just giving a way for you to move more further. And just watch carefully, you don't turn the toes outward, right? So stay simple, not from the straight line, just line it out, but not literally, not turning completely outside. Your both legs just turn about a 20 or 30 degree out. Then you bring your left foot on the floor, you move the hip, walk your right foot on the floor and the center. This is similar to the previous move, but here focus that the toe position is still on the side. Press the hip, right? Bring your left hand to the left inner thigh, right hand to the right inner thigh, and then the spine stays to the center line. Then check with your elbows to straight line. So if you're not able to see that, you'll see that first the front view, that the elbows are bending completely, but the chest goes down, hips goes down. That's the front view. If you see the same thing from the side view, then you can see that I'm just trying to use my strength to push the thighs back and back and back till you get your elbows straight line, completely straight line. So that works with your groin. You're just stretching all the way out and push maximum outside. The opening comes from your groins. So that's the major joint, right? You open up the major one. The second is the knee that follow the action of your hip, and then the third one is your ankle. That one will follow of a medium joint. You don't open the ankle, you don't open the kneecap, you don't come from the bottom, go from the upper part. So open up the hip, open up more the knee, and then your ankles. There you go. So you can stay there for about another 10 more. Keep moving. 9, check with the hips press down. 8, so your toe stays more lighter. There's a heel stake, an outer edge of the heel taking the pressure, not the inner one. 4, 3, I hope you guys are just following and doing it. 2, and then 1. And you can just press your hands down. You can reduce the gap. Bring your hands back. Sit down to the Bandha Konasana, or as a butterfly position. So when you come out of the butterfly, joining the heels, base of your legs, So lengthen the spine, stay up. So you're lengthening the spine, so keeping the gap between your heels and your perineum. There is no joining. You need to maintain the gap. Lengthen, lengthen, and lengthen. Nicely up. Good. Join the legs, hug the legs, lengthen the spine. So bring your hands, lift the hips, forward bend. Standing forward, straight line. Press the hands, smooth. Walk your right foot, walk your left foot. That's your downward position. Keep lifting your tailbone when it's nicely high, then check with the spine. Bring your right leg up to the ceiling. And bring your right knee to the nose and the foot front between the hands. Come up for a warrior two. So when you're coming up warrior two, checking out, right? Your right leg is back and then focus more with your back foot. And up for warrior two position. And the back of your leg, the left thigh, press down. 5 counts, you're going to continuously pressing down. You're not going to swing and you're going to press down for 4, 3, 2, and 1. So the leg stays stronger. Check the hips, lengthen. And the hip stays down, checking more with your thigh and the inner groins and the thigh stay straight. Join the palms to the center of your heart, straight in the left, and then your right foot, Skandasana. Opening your inner thighs outward direction. Keep lengthening the spine again. More connection of your abductor and your adductor muscles. Open up. Center line goes even more outward direction. Then you can bring your hands down to the center line. Come here for your standing. Your legs apart. Wide leg for that. Press the fingertip to lengthen the spine. Exhale, go down. So your hands can reach your outer edge of your foot and reach all the way down. See if you can place your crown or your head. Let's say if you're not able to reach the head down there, just stay with your fingertips. You can just lengthen the spine as long as you work with your inner thighs. Perfect. Spine half lift. There you go. The third one, turning your heels completely here, facing to each other. The previous one was Malasana, but here is not Malasana. Complete goddess. Press the head down, 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 and down. There you go. Hands on the top of the thighs. Lengthen your spine. Try and check more with your hips, the back of the thighs to press down further. Arms up higher. Check the stretching on the side of the body. The hips goes down for another 5 down. Go 4 down. Take 3 down. Or 2 there. Down. 1 down. Stay here for another 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And press the hands down to smooth to straighten the legs. And slowly turning your left foot in. Walk your hands and move back. Downward position. Checking more with the hips. Lift your tailbone nicely higher. It's the ceiling. Long breath. Heels off the mat. Plank inhalation. Knees chest. Astangasana. Arch. Inhalation. Downward exhalation. Smooth for the breath and the heels off the mat. The same way to bring your right foot front between the hands. Ground the back up for warrior two. So check once again with your hips. So sorry if I'm not wrong. It's the left foot that you need to bring to the front. So the opposite side, the same thing that you're bringing for your opposite. And after warrior two. Elbow straight. Check again the trunk, the back of the thigh. Pressing down, take for 5 counts, go 4 down, check, 3 down, focus on the back of the thigh, 2, and then stay with 1, ups. So your spine is keep lengthening, back of the thigh, don't forget the front knee stay over your ankle. You're lengthening the spine again, focus with the hips. Join the palms, go for Skandasana. So, straightening your front leg, The back one is just bend and open it. Try to create a complete opening more with your inner thighs and the groins, more outward. Open up with your shoulder and the chest. So keeping the front leg flex, not just the big toe, so all 5 toes are turning inward direction. Then you can bring your hands down on the mat in front, up. Straighten your both legs to the right leg, forward. This time, try and check with the hips. Slowly spread your legs. Remember, you're not going to do the complete Upavishta Konasana, not the complete full split. I want you to move the legs all the way to the both edge of the mat. So your right foot goes the outer edge of your foot. That's your right little toe is reaching the edge, the corner. Left little toe is reaching the corner. That's it. Don't allow your toe to reach the mat and stay here. I want you to walk your hands to the front and stay with the fingertips. And try to check the control that you're getting more on the thighs by using your core muscles. That's the purpose. It's not that the split that you need to go, but here you're trying to get the control to work with your inner thighs and the groins. So make sure that don't allow your foot to fall on the floor. Allow your heels to turn slightly out and your fingers, the fingertips. If this is challenging, you can drop the elbows, but when you drop the elbows, obviously the weight will go to the elbows. The purpose of keeping the fingertips is to keeping the weight equally on the both sides. And smooth, reduce, 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 reduce. Again, completely together. Stand up. Inhale, and take a little arch on the back. Go down, exhale, fall back. Once you reach the fall back, step your right foot back, follow by left, plank, knees, chest, chin, arch with cobra, downward position. And smooth, drop the knees, sit up. We are there almost. It's working on the peak move. Check more with your inner thighs and groins. Try to focus more with your kneecaps. Slowly to open the knees, open it nicely, and then you can bring your hips up. And try to focus, your big toes are touching together, not the heels. See if you can walk your left leg more on the left side, and then walk your right leg more on the right side, and then bring your fingertips on the mat. And send your left leg slightly out, and the right foot also slightly out. So if you see from the side angle, this is how it exactly looks like a frog, right? So the kneecaps, your hips, and then other kneecap stays in line. The knees stays in line with your ankles. Try to stay up with your fingertips. And if this is challenging again with your hands, use your block. Upright more and press the hip, like upward dog position. You're pressing the hips, you're lengthening the spine. Try to go. Press the groin down, lengthen the spine, so you can use the hands for your good support, otherwise the weight goes to the kneecap. So I've told you already that don't put too much of pressure on the knees, right? So use the hands to lengthen more, and lengthen more. Smooth to lean forward, joining your big toes in, move your hips back, then you can bring the knees in, closed. Release and stretch your legs to the front. Shake out your legs nicely. Shaking up more with your hips. And stretch both legs to the front. And your right leg back. Bending your right like you're holding a baby. Pick up the foot. So your left elbow, the left arm comes around your right foot. Your left arm that goes around your kneecap to bind. And open up and try to swing the body to move front and back, front and back for a few times. So that's just enough and stay. So once you're done with this, bring your right foot just above your left kneecap. 2 fingers hanging outside. Checking up your right foot stays about 2 fingers hanging outside. Then bend your left leg. Something like a figure 4. Try to lengthen the spine. Keep lengthening the spine to allow the chest that moves more to the front. So you need to feel more of your quadriceps and check more with the sides, the glutes, right? So once you're ready here, then we'll go for the Yoga Dandasana. That's the posture, that's the asana that we're trying to do it, because for that you need more opening for your groin, hips, flexors, and then your inner thighs. So you work with your inner groins and flexors and thighs. So your right leg stays on the top. So already somewhere here, your right leg stays on the top of your left leg. And bring your right arm to the ceiling. Give a nice stretch. Then bring your right elbow first, goes to your right base of the foot, the ball of the foot. And then you send your right tricep. And then you go for your right underarm. So in one point, if you're not able to reach, what you can do is just do it about a couple of times to keep the right elbow straight, and then you slide friend and back. Go for another 3 friend and back. Go for a 2 friend, and the last one, this time you move forward, you have to lock. So by pushing the right leg towards your right arm. So you keep moving and keep pushing. Flex the foot, don't keep the toe pointing. Flex the foot and slowly allow your right arm to push your right knee, right leg more outward. See if your knee doesn't go down, right? If the kneecap doesn't go down, fine. Stay here, your right fingers is just touching onto the left inner kneecap. The practiceness, if you're finding your hip is more easy, more comfortable to take for the next move, you try to use your hand to open up the hip more to allow your right knee to press down and the right hand down, stay up. Left leg is just bending, right? The right hand is just down there on the mat. Let's say if your leg is slipping from your armpit, you just bring back again, adjust more with your position, so just wipe it up, and then you go again with the same twist. You try to open the hip, drop the knee, press the hands. The more you harder press the right hand, you can get that hug on your armpit. Left leg still bending, stretch the left hand and the front. So you're trying to do this particular posture, so for that you need to do more of opening of the hips. So it's a less twist, but more opening with your groins, more opening on the hips, more on your flexors. So keep open up. Checking out the region of the hip is completely flat, and then in one line that stays from your inner knee, perineum, and the other part of the inner kneecap. So open up, where you can hold this position. Try to breathe again. That's fine even if your kneecap is not touching the mat, right? Or keep the knee a little higher. It's just probably fine. You'll always try it. So don't go directly this particular posture. You need to work more on the groins and you need to work more on your hips. So when you're releasing, take the support from the left hand and slowly send back. Release your hand. And you can stretch one leg first, take the other leg also. So you can feel the difference once you do the Yoga Dandasana with the both legs. So shake out nicely. Then we'll take for other side, right? So this time we go for bending onto your left leg. So carrying a baby. So try to move side to side. So when you're moving side to side, you're just not exactly the kneecap is moving on the sideways. You're bringing the knee more to the backward direction. And then you go inward direction. You check the kneecap, you look at the knee and your tricep. It's just moving to the back and to the side. And back and to the side. And back and to the side. So once you come forward, then you can rest it. The same 2 fingers, you just place your right index and the middle finger to the outer edge of your leg, and aware that make sure your leg is just hanging up, not the ankle. And then you come up to the figure 4, lengthen to allow the chest to push front. Lengthen more the spine. So your hips are just like dangling, your hips are just like it. Use the hands to move forward. Lengthen. Don't forget to flex the foot. So next again, you're gonna sliding your body with your arm. So bringing the left arm outside. So you see that I'm just keeping my left elbow, my arch of the foot, right? So if this is your maximum that you can go, stay. So use a block, place a block here on the back so you can place the right hand on the block. So use this hand to lengthen the spine. Don't round it, lengthen. So you straighten the arm, right? And then you move it. See how far you can move. If that is your maximum, stay. Let's say if you can move further, don't go. So just come back again, slide, 3, back, slide, 2, back, slide, 1 more. So always take the final one as your option. Stay with that way. So flex the foot. You need to bend your elbow. So if you think that your leg is missing, your leg is slippery, holding onto the leg from your opposite hand. There you can go. Try to check more with the leg. There you can smooth. Bring it down there. So the position again, you can see that the kneecap is still up. You don't try to drop the knee down here on the sideways, which is unhealthy for your shoulder, elbow, and the kneecap because you're using the joints. See the kneecap and elbow and shoulder? Completely not. You work with your groin. You move the hip. You also listen to the hip. The direction of the hip is moving to the back. And then smooth, drop down. It takes a little more time. So because that you're rotating the shoulder, right leg bend. Say that if bending the right leg is more challenging or tiring, fold. That's a proper position again for your Dandasana. Try to check more with the leg. You need to open up. You need to turn the head to the right side. You're opening the body more onto the right side. Even if you don't release the hands from the mat, fine. You just need to observe and then instruct your body such a way that it understands your language. So observe more of the feeling that you're creating, the sense that you're creating, the gap, and completely that your channels are opening up to allow your channels to listen to you. And smooth when you're releasing the same way to make sure to straighten the right leg. Up. There you go. Stretch both legs. And come on to the front, center line. So checking out the inner groins, the abductors, the adductors, the inner thighs, just the inner thighs, inner kneecaps, your two parts, the psoas major and minor, the groin and flexors are well open. Then you can go here for your butterfly. So the previous one that we did, not exactly butterfly, but here, legs comes close to the perineum. The heels are reaching the base of the perineum. Press the hands to the back, right? Lengthen the spine, press the knees. You don't swing, press. That's fine even if your knees are not reaching down. Press the base, the toes to see that your toes are moving out. Your toes are not together. Toes are apart. The sole of the foot. Stay close. Heels touch together. Hands press. And the hips up. Your hips up. Not your head. Not the chest. So look at from the side. I'm bringing my base off the mat. So your buttocks are getting off the mat. Move front and back a few times. And checking out the legs. Your heels are together. The base are together. So once you move front, this time you're walking your hands front and front. Try to sit on your heels. Checking out. So if you're not sure what I'm doing exactly, from your butterfly position, hands pressing down on the back, lift the hips, send your hips back, forward, lift, move front, and see if you can land on your heels. So automatically your shin bones will touch down. If that doesn't touch down, it's a little tightness that you need to work on to your groins. The practice-ness, if you're comfortable by sitting there, you can bring your hands from the back, down the front, hands on the kneecap. So focus, a modified version of Mula Bandhasana. The anus locking, check more with your heels, the Mula, and focus more with your Bandha is a lock. So you're creating the complete lock with your legs. It's just a modification of a proper Mula Bandhasana, not exactly one. Check. The hips lengthen more. Work more with your ankles and check more with your hips. So when you're releasing, place hands to the back, move back. Yeah, you can bring your legs together. You'll feel more here also. And hug the legs. Take the eyes around the back. So, along with the round shape, you can just slowly roll back, roll back, roll back. Checking more with the spine and landing your spine completely. Drop the hips, drop the head. Open your knees, holding on to your legs from outside. And smooth rocking to the sides for a happy baby. You don't need to force again with your movements because you are pulling down, you're setting down your hips, joints, the muscles. Try to focus more of your heels check with your spine, right? Once you're done with a happy baby, release. Let go. Stretch your legs to the front. Focus more with your feet apart, hands apart. You can close your eyes. Or you might take a little bit of time to work more with your movement of the hips to take sides or right and left with the supine twist. Then you can continue to the Savasana. Right? So those who are wish to continue to the Savasana, the final relaxation, you can just continue to the same relaxation and just mute. Then you can have about another 5 minutes of time for your body to settling back to the position. And others, yes, there you can go for your questions or comments. I hope you guys can feel something there with your hips. And yeah, as I told you before, you won't just feel only on the front side, you need to feel more on the sides, because a hip means not just this is your flexors and groins are there, and here that you have the ID band, here you have three big muscles called the buttocks. I'll just say it in an easier way people can understand. So put everything together, that's why we call it the hips, right? So I hope you guys just work on there and make sure to have a good rest for your hips. So otherwise you're gonna get some kind of a soreness tomorrow, then you will start to blame me. So don't do that, right? And feel free to just send me send a comment here at the Pure Instagram page, and stay connected. And then is there any questions? And let me see if there are any questions. I can just try to answer here. I just need to scroll up again all the way from the top, and let me see if the people are joined. Any questions, right? Because sometimes it's more challenging, again, as I always say, is that when you're just looking at something and while doing, then you may not be very sure whether I'm doing it right or not. So it's always to get to understand and get to know, or feel free to ask. That's the only way that we have now, because it's now we are not, the teachers are not just having a direct contact with any of the members or students. So it's always better to ask questions. So what's happening here? Is this right, or is this wrong, or am I doing something crazy? Am I doing something funny? My feeling is right or not? My hips can get cramps. All these things are natural things, right? So natural movements when you're giving something that you don't used to it, right? So it's always get and understand clear cut from teachers whether that you're doing the right way or other things. Screaming hips, good. Oh my god, oh yeah, it's a screaming hips. I think it's a scratching hip. Okay, no, it doesn't take a lot of years. You just need to understand that you just need to practice. You just work on that particular area, that's all, right? You just need to work. Keep practicing, you'll all get it. It's not that you cannot get, it's just a matter of practice that you have to go on. And don't stick to one type of practice, as always. Go and then focus more on your body from top to bottom. So then you know that your bodies are complete from top to bottom. Keep working. The hips is just for one aspect, that's all. So work on the legs, work on the core, work on the stability, work on strength, work on everything. I would suggest you to do sun salutation a lot more, that you can get a lot of vitamins and a lot of energies. Would hips break? Obviously, no. You bend, so you won't break. 1 hour is too short. Okay, noted. This is a good one, and maybe we'll just check it out. Let's see if you can bring it up some more, because a lot of classes are coming also. And tomorrow is about 9:30. There is a hatha stretch with Yoshi, 9 a.m. So when is your next class? Able to add? Yeah, beginners too also, right? Correct. Thanks guys. Which position will stretch the outside of the thigh? Trust, I don't feel it. Okay, the outside of the thigh, so which means this is the thigh, right, the quadriceps, and this is on the side. It's an 80 band, where you can just simply cross, then you work on the side bend. That works on the side, that 80 band, right? Thanks, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Namaste, right? Thanks.